in theory, the leader of the party in a sane climb should be, the chairman of that party, as far as I'm concerned. But in our political kind of play, it is the strongest political person in that locality. In this case, you as a PDP member, who owns the PDP? Own is not the right word. Who controls the PDP structure in the state?
The PDP has always leaned on the governance of the party to become the leader of the party in the state. So every state has the leader of the party in the person of the governor of that state. And so as of today, Fubara ought to be the leader.
When you say ought, is that not the case?
Well, why? Because if there are insinuations and doubts of performance and functioning, you can actually say ought to be. In person he is, but in function is he. That's it.
Okay.
So that's why I use the word ought to be. And then when you talk about structure runs from state to the zone, which is the senatorial zones, and of course to the LGAs and to the ward and even to the unit. There is no human being who can stand anywhere to say I own the party structure in a state. Because you may own the party structure like you claim. Can you own the smallest structure of the party in a particular person's unit who is also a member of the party that is not aligned to your ideology? It's difficult to say so.
If majority of the units in a state decide to go with one individual, is that not controlling?
No. Nobody decides to go with an individual. Politics is local. You've heard about that.
Of course.
And so because politics is local, people tend to aggregate to where their interest goes to. And so this aggregation is what determines what becomes the holistic idea. But in a situation where people seem to be emasculated to believe that only one person can control the system. You see, when you talk about the crisis in the party in Rivers State and between the governor and his godfather,
his political father,
it's clear. Number one, we all sat here in Rivers State. That's why we said from the beginning, you will go back, that PDP need reforms. Where in any party should a sitting governor sit down and buy forms for every representative of the people, both at the state and the national level.
All right. And
then people didn't see it coming that a man who purchases form for you has eventually taken away your inalienable right to personally vie for a position, and therefore has privatized your political interest and has put it in his pocket. However, one thing that the man who did that forgot, which is the FCT minister, was that when he was doing this, he felt he was doing them a favor and that he was bringing the money from himself. But we must correct him. The money with which he used to purchase those forms that he claims to have bought for them, they were state funds.
Okay.
And because they were state funds, they were taxpayers' money. Okay. And so every person who inherited that, they didn't inherit his personal funds, they inherited his state funds.
How would you like to see this situation handled? You are a strong member of the party. You may not be in official positions in the party. I do not know. I stand to be corrected. But you are a member of the party. How would you like, even at the state level, the chairman, Desmond Akawa, and other people in the party, how would you like them to settle this issue?
First, I want this matter settled, and of course, I'll give my opinion.
Okay.
Clearly, I will speak to the main antagonist in this whole play, and the main antagonist is the FCT minister. My advice to former Governor Wike is that, one, you help His Excellency Fubara to become governor. Remember that people helped you to become governor, and those people who helped you allowed you to run your government for 8 years without interference. So you must return the same favor to the man that you've given, the man that you chose above all others the man in whom you were well pleased. At this point, it's too early, and it will be regarded as total impatience and intolerance, and of course concluded to be political intimidation if the former governor continues to put pressure on the governor to begin to do things the way he wants and doesn't allow him express himself and allow him work for the people of Rivers State. And for the present governor, this will be my advice. My advice to him is your first interest, loyalty, commitment, as you swore on that oath, was to defend and protect Rivers people. And you reiterated it during the crisis when you stood on the podium to speak, that you were going to defend and protect Rivers people. You must continue to defend that interest. Truth be told, at the end of 4 or 8 years, as the case may be, the former governor will not be accountable for the 8 years that you were governor. You will be accountable for yourself for that 8 years.